Alright, so it's OutCast back again. Today we're checking out the game, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I don't really know anything about it, but it had overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and it said to go in as blind as possible. So I guess that's just what we're going to do today. So I opened the game to just go to the main menu like I normally do, and it said, have you played the Stanley Parable before? So, no. Duh. $138.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, well, at least he's happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, okay. Now what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Go to the meeting room? There's a meeting room. Okay. Huh. Uh-oh.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. I guess we'll see what... I don't like that the door's shut behind me.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
That previous slide said how not to get fired. Not cost efficient. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Who moved my desk? Complete today's unfinished agenda items. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Okay. Number of slides on this slide. Okay. I'm still not really sure what's going on here. What? Didn't it say something about a broom closet? Oh, okay.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh, okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It's weird that it's just telling me where to go. Am I supposed to just follow him? Executive bathroom. Oh.
Stepping into his manager's
Jeez.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
By sheer luck.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Dude, I want an office like this. This is awesome. Elevator or something? Whoop. Where does this take us?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Whoa. Suppose I could go back up if I wanted to. Buttons.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What? Escape. I don't really want to go down to the mind control facility.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Violent death? I don't know if I trust this guy. I've learned
The door
not...
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I'm just going to keep going.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and
Yes, I am.
willingly confront his death.
Sure. Let's see what happens. I mean, the red light looks pretty scary, but... Oh. Oh. Wait. What happened?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Well, I mean, it doesn't let me do anything else. What happens?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Did it? Can't go that way.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What? I don't know what's going on in this game,
When
but
every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making
Whoa.
life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This is so weird. Filing cabinets. Empty filing cabinets. Office computers. Oh, the credits. Okay, so I guess I lost or something. Oh, different button sounds. Jeez. Okay. Maintenance room. Whoa. Narrator emails. Uh-oh. Oh, in the previous version. Oh, okay. Interesting. Cargo lift is always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. So is this all other stuff you can do in the game? I suppose I should just keep moving. Sounds like I lost already, though. Stanley's out now. Exit. Whoa. What? God, there's so many places to go down here. Whoa.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How
Who?
they both wish to be free.
Who are you talking to? On, off. Oh,
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
wait, what's
Push
happening?
escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
Was it really telling me to quit the game? Like, oh, it took me all the way back here. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe we'll follow what the guy says this time. I died pretty quickly last time. I hate Mondays. Can I go in any of these rooms? Oh. Or maybe some of them you can.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't like listening to directions. We're gonna go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sure. We'll start there. Yeah, that looks like an exit. Or something, kinda. Maybe. Yeah, everything's locked.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I can't read.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Yeah.
Really worth it.
Definitely. Trying to see what's going on here. What do they say? Number one dad.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible
Reflected
that
poor-
this is why everyone left.
This is why everyone left?
But at
Because
last, he had enough of the amazing room and took the first
Dang it.
open door on his left to get back to business.
I don't want to follow your rules. No, not that room. Ooh, what's over here?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Ooh, what is this? A broken window or something? What's through here? Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Oh, is this what it was talking about, what I read earlier? In the credits? Well, that looks like a way out of here. I don't know, maybe I'm not supposed to get out of here. There's a key card. Is there a key card? Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. I guess.
Look, Stanley, I think
Wait,
perhaps we've
wait,
gotten
wait,
off
wait.
on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Oh, this is taking me
There's
over here.
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Wait,
This
for
is
who?
it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What? Can I leave? Here. Nope. Okay. Nope. It's an awfully dark doorway. There's nowhere to go here. Okay. Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
What?
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I guess. Wait.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
What the?
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
What?
Oh,
Whoa.
come on.
What the hell is happening?
Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point
Damn.
here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Wait, what? Okay.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Damn, man. I don't want to press J. You
Look
suck.
at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
No. I'm not going to press I. Get me out of here.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
I suppose that sounds
Each day that he
good.
returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Damn. Don't want
And
to
so
watch
he began to
TV.
fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Oh, so this is a dream or
Excited
something?
him terribly.
Spend time with the boys. Sure.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
What is
and
happening?
he called it the Stanley Parable.
Game with a baby. What is happening? Tell your story.
It was such a wonderful
Tell the kids
fantasy.
a story?
And so in his head, he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tell your wife you love her. What
But
is
there is
going
no
on?
answer.
Whoa.
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press you to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I don't know what to do here.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
It's pretty harsh. Question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Maybe this time.
And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley
Jeez.
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Nope. And we're back at the beginning again. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Should I actually do what he is telling us to do this time?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, we'll see what he's got to say this time. I won't go down the escape route.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Do
Stanley decided to
unbelievingly
go
amazing
up to his
words.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. I guess we'll see what's in that mind control place. I think I gotta go this way. What's in here? Oh, I can open this door. Oh, man. Okay, I didn't know. I don't even remember there being a door here. There's an elevator here. I can go up. What's up? Let's go up. Where does this go? Am I just in the same... What is this elevator? Where does it go if I go down? It just puts you back in like a dryer with the elevator music. That's hilarious. That elevator does nothing. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be?
I like how the...
In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I like how the voice acting changes every time you go around. Like that's not the first time I've heard that information.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
The game just talks crap about you. 2, 8, 4. Oh, nope. Shoot.
2845.
Yeah. Now he's getting mad. Okay, now I'm going to mess it up again. Will he get mad?
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
That's awesome. I love that. Okay. Oh, what's up there? Can I go up? Nope. Jeez.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
He sounded a little bit more stern this time. I think we're gonna see what happens. It's very dark in here. Lights?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Whoa.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I don't know, it feels like the Matrix. Okay, this is cool.
Now the monitors jumped to
Whoa.
life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What is all this stuff here now? Huh? Can't really... Oh. Keep going this way. Is that like an elevator?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Where does that go? You're not really going to leave your mind control facility with a giant sign that says mind control facility on it.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in
Would
someone
you?
else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yeah, where are we now?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Yeah, I'm with
For
that.
he
I agree.
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Or do I take control? What's in here? Oh, dang it. Okay, so 1, 2. I saw 5 over there. Do I click them in order or something? Where was that 5? Oh yeah, over on that. Okay. Guess we do 1, 2. Is there another button that I should be able to hit? I guess go over here. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. I guess I don't know why it had
And when
the
at
option.
last he
Oh, here
found
we
the
go.
source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So we just go up and hit off. Uh-oh. What did that do?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
So the
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives,
I feel like the rug's
it
going to
will
be
his.
pulled out from underneath me here.
That was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before
I
him.
don't trust it. For some
This
reason, I
was
don't
exactly
trust it.
the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. and Stanley was happy.
Well, that's nice. It was considered completing it by actually following his exact directions. That's hilarious. I'm
All
gonna
of his
keep playing though.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
There were so
Stanley
many things to
decided
do on
go
that
to the
other side
meeting
of that
room.
door.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was
We're
not
going
the
right
correct
to the
way
right.
to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, I didn't take that last time. I went directly out that way. We're gonna go see what else is this way.
Stanley
There's
was
stuff
so
I wanted
bad
to
at
see.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
Let's see if I
foot
can
here.
jump onto that.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your
I
trust
remember
in
right, it
someone
takes
else
you
can
right
be
over top.
difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What?
Hey, I
Really?
made it.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me
I
a
don't trust you.
chance.
Danger, danger everywhere. I also gotta go through that door. Can I go through that door? Probably not. It's got a key card. Yeah, it's got a key card thing here too. I wonder if there's key cards that I can find somewhere. Wasn't really expecting like a hilarious liminal space game, but this kind of plays perfectly. It's a good suggestion.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Okay.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh man, there's so many options. What's over here? Okay, there's got to be a key card. There's all these doors with key card box on them. Oof. Looks identical either way. All right, red's my favorite color, so
Oh, thank
we'll go.
God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
No.
The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
I'm
Don't
just
you
going in
see that
circles,
it's
I can
killing
tell.
Stanley? I wanted to stop.
Clearly.
We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh. All right. Doesn't really seem like I have a choice. Whoa.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess we go forward. I don't know what are we looking for?
Here.
Whoa.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
What is happening? Whoa. What is in my Mountain Dew? What is going on here? I feel like this will just go on forever if I don't go back down.
No, wait. Where are you going?
I don't know, nothing's happening.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
No, that's okay.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
You kind of oh.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No! Oh, thank God.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
I guess. Nothing was going on. I bet it won't be there now. Or it'll be different anyways. Whoa. Whoa.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can.
Is this
if
what
we
I
stop
want?
moving, we just have to stop moving.
Okay, I'm not touching anything. I'm probably resetting timers every time I do that. Some kind of goofy timer. I don't know how long this is going to go on for. Truthfully, I'm bored now.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Do I have to do it again? I'm gonna do it again. See, there's not like
No.
this is another way out the door.
What are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
I don't know, get me out of here. Goodbye.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
The voice acting in this is really good.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
No.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it.
That's definitely what it is.
Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
I don't know, man. I'm just bored of this trippy room. Is there somewhere else I can go? I don't want to be here anymore. Do I have to
I wanted
quit?
us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe something will be different this time. I also wish I could run. It doesn't let me sprint. He's not even saying anything to me anymore. I feel like I might have to quit and then jump back in the game in order to get out of this now. He's not even saying anything to me now.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Oh, this is hilarious. I really like how this is laid out.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This feels different to me, but Maybe I just don't remember it.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay,
And
we'll
so
go
he
this way.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh. Where does this take me? I hope I didn't already go this way.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Huh, doesn't even let me choose anything else. Okay.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Is this what we're doing now?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Rustling papers.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Why are your headlights on? Oh, we're back here again. Wait.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
This would be funny if I came here before I got to the
It's all
other
rubbish
one.
now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
What?
And this
Just
time,
like that?
Suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
All of his
Okay, don't go
co-workers
down the
were
little
gone.
lift there.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
I didn't do
move
nothing.
the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Exactly.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then.
Open the doors.
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
Whoa.
Let's find the story.
Oh, no. Can I go through here? Oh, no. I don't know where to go. We're going to go this one. Oh. These both come the same way. Okay. Oh, here we are in the liminal spaces again. Oh, no. Doesn't matter where you go.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I mean, I guess.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh.
Okay, yep, it's worse.
It's
I
worse.
might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I mean, I guess. It doesn't really look like I have many options. Let's see what happens. I mean, I don't think so. Nope.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
What is happening?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
I mean,
Well,
that's where we've been.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I don't feel about this at all.
About this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Here we go again.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Just super simple. We're already off track.
You see, the line knows where the story is.
The
It's
line
over
TM.
in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Nope. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree
I'm
that
having a hard
nature of
time following your
existence
line
is in
here.
fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience
This guy
of that
drunk?
existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
Whoa, hang on.
Weird back there? Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Jesus. Oh my god, it just keeps going.
Wait, cut the music.
Oh,
Go
man.
back and look at that fern.
What?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
What? Okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
What the hell is going on?
Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Whoa. We're back here anyways.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after
Line
we
TM.
trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Restart. What is this game?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent
don't know,
people,
man.
right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know, How about this direction?
Sure. Why not?
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
Dude, I don't
Go
know.
wild. Use
Again,
your
you just got me
imagination.
running in a circle.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh,
Whoa.
no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Just don't acknowledge it, TM. Okay, I guess it's back off again. Where are we at?
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here,
Great.
the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door
Just
has
walk
to
in
lead
circles for a
somewhere,
minute.
which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Another victory for logic. Okay. The confusion ending.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
After a long
It's all
time, Stanley dies.
Determined?
What?
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Restart.
And the timer stopped? Does that
Wait.
mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
You didn't break the cycle.
Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
Just stand here.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
I feel like it's going to
Well, in the
restart
meantime-
any second. Whoa. Yep, there it is.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
What?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
There's stuff following me. New content. I like new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Oh. They tricked me with the new content, but where is this going?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
I did not know that.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
This is awesome.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I haven't seen any of this content, so I guess I am too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Just say chill out, Mr. Narrator.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh,
I love this narrator.
let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Wrong way. The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
What are we doing here? This is literally all I'm doing here. Can't jump anymore. Well, that was awesome. Is that all that was? Oh my god.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
That was a really long elevator just to come up to that.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
I guess.
No frills, no gimmicks.
No frills,
Just
no
you
gimmicks.
and me having a great time together like always.
I feel like this whole
What do
thing's
you
been a
say,
gimmick.
friend?
In a good way. But this whole thing's been a gimmick. Ooh, this is different. That's hilarious. They put the... That's so funny. Okay. I mean, it's kind of the same, but...
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
What's over here instead, though? Let's see what's in the vent. Coffee nut. Where's there a screwdriver here? Whoa. Yep.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got
Yeah.
me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Whoa.
Take a look.
What? What? Okay, that's hilarious. What is this?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
This is great.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh,
Good
the
times.
waste.
This is hilarious. This is so cool. Oh, smile because it happened. Stanley Parable demonstration. Oh, it's for the demo. Oh, that's cool. Don't play for 5 years. It's impossible to get this achievement.
Je suis dans la
What is this?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
No, it's not.
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
New elevator content. Uh-oh. We have a choice. Oh. Maybe not. Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time from
Carpet
GameSpot.com.
textures.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
Okay.
It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't
Maintenance's
give to go
room is
back
open now.
to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Ooh.
What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Are they
Surely
bad?
these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I don't know.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh my god. This is great. Be cool if I could drive any of those things. I figured you probably couldn't. What's over here? Where am I supposed to go? Here we go. There's something in here. No, no.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley?
Preachy.
I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness.
No, you're not.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't.
I think he does a good job.
Yeah. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh, what's this one?
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
I don't want to skip any of it.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
What? Okay, that was cool.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video
He's trying to annoy me, isn't he?
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption,
he's gonna keep doing
it's
it.
right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer
That was
and
almost
longer.
an hour.
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
50 minutes.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 hours.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are
What
getting
happens
longer,
now?
but they're
Let's go.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness.
Well, these
I
light
have
bulbs
someone
blew
to
up.
talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
How
I
much
stopped
time?
keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
No.
Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing.
Bored. Oh, he's not here now. Uh-oh. Oh, it just now came back. Oh, that's obnoxious. Can I make that just go away? I don't want to listen to that.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was
Wait,
meant
what?
to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make...
Back in the silence again.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I think I broke the narrator. Oh no. This isn't any good. Well, that's kind of nice. Oh, this seems sad again. I don't like this place. How long does this go on for? What is that? Uh-oh. Everything's all off balance now. Uh-oh. I'm not really sure what to do with that. Can I click the button again? Nope. Oh, okay. Well, we're back here again. Is my narrator back or what? Oh, phone's ringing. Who farted?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
I actually really like the voice acting. Most of it actually feels really realistic. It's awfully quiet without new content. Well, I do like new content.
Oh, good. You notice my
Hey.
sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Better not be the same elevator again. I didn't know he was back. He just reappeared like nothing ever happened. Okay, elevator again.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
As I'm turned around the wrong way.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay, well, let's see what it is. Nice office area.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
What happened there at the end? It sounded like his voice kind of got distorted. What is that? Yep, I can't make that out. New content and out. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Cool red section of the chart. Old and busted and new hotness. This is a cool office anyways.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Fuzzy magic. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Arkham Asylum 2. This way to the show floor.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
New feature. Exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. That's new. Okay. Please no screenshots. Red is the new orange. Baby is all grown up. What? Reassurance bucket? What the hell is going on here? Merch? Collectibles? Infinite toll? I guess the bucket? The bucket sounds interesting.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Even comforting.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Bucket is the perfect solution. I guess. Whoa.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
I was
And in
not
fact,
expecting that
Can I
laugh.
say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
I appreciate that.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they?
Yeah?
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
So now I just have a bucket. Okay. I guess we just carry the bucket with us now.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
Probably
That really
not.
should be an award if it isn't already.
And now I want to hear my name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I guess. Is it going to say my name?
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay, I
want you
am
to
Jim.
imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
The good thing is I have my
Do you feel it
bucket.
deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Fully, truly.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Got it.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described
Totally worth
you.
it.
Do it again, do it again.
Yep.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
Fully
Let's
agree.
take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
No.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Dang it. You stole my button. I guess. At least I still have my bucket. Can I go in this door? Nope.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Okay. What's through here, I guess? New, free, easy achievement. Infinite hole. achievement. Pull the lever, get your achievement. No more steps.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
These bastards. I just wanted my achievement. Total crap game. Unplayable. Okay. I think it said something about an infinite hole.
What else? What other exhibits
Sounds
have we seen
interesting,
yet?
if nothing else. I'm opening. That's the direction it goes.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never
Holy
been done
moly.
before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling.
what's the-
You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I'm not gonna lose my bucket, am I?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Or we can just continue falling.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the
Let's go,
teleport
let's go,
button to
let's go,
back to
let's
the
go.
top. Maybe
I wanna
do it
see how
on
far
the
this goes.
Sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Nah, we're gonna go.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the
I knew
infinite
it.
nature of the hole.
I knew he
Is
was
it a
full of
very,
it.
very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You
that
found me out,
cigarette butts?
Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Okay. Can I get out of here now?
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that
Okay.
works for you,
I'm
then
good with
go
it.
ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on.
Okay.
I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my idea. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The
They
problem
knew we
is
were
that
gonna
you
jump
like
right back
holes
in.
too much. Not normal. A normal
Not
person
normal.
would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no.
I have to see it all.
Weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
A
I
little bit,
couldn't
yeah.
help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again
Not
there's nothing to
infinite.
do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Yeah.
Had
Sounds
enough?
good.
I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay.
was going to say you're going to have to force me
I'm
not to, but
starting
this
become
happened really
extremely
fast this
certain
time.
That the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
It worked.
Oh,
It worked a little
who am I
bit.
to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Well, I am kind of stuck here. Uh-oh.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Yeah, it's
Still
not
nothing?
working.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Uh-oh.
I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be
Just
away
gonna
from
leave
the
me
hole,
here?
and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a
Don't.
win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I
Uh-oh.
hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
No way. Is it just going to reset me at some point? Ooh, what's that? What's happening? Oh. Wait a minute. Hey, narrator guy. Hello? Where's this gonna take me now? Hello? Change your perspective. Wait. What is this? Is that me? Okay, so this is pretty cool. Change your perception. Uh-oh. Okay. No. Uh-oh. Change your reality.
You're no longer using up the space of mind.
This is amazing.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mind.
Change yourself. Okay, this is This is crazy.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole
Oh
is
my
just
God, that's
so
amazing.
darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment.
I feel like I could have done that for an hour.
Pop in from time to time and wake you up,
to keep you really, truly focused on the hole. From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
This is getting
and I'm
weird.
looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle pip.
Toodle pip. Wait, is it starting again? Oh, it brought me back here. Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay, what's in here?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Okay, fine. Oh, and it changed everything. That's great.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Hey, the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
You're not even going to give me one more jump? Lame. Alright, what's up here? I haven't been through here yet. Collect them all. Whoa.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no
You can still see my
reward for
bucket.
collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Whoa. This is kind of creepy. Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Absolutely true. Something over here, maybe? Oh, here we go. And I still haven't been through there, so... Oh, there's all sorts of stuff. Okay. The button that says gym. Yeah, that's new, it says. I haven't been through here. Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, well, I guess exit is the only, I haven't done yet. Oh.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to
Guess
move
so.
on now?
Random briefcase.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Not quite.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I
Sound
kidding,
effects are
Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Whip something up real quick.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
It's pretty good. Kind of feels like a horror game, though. And it's going to start me over, isn't it?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company.
Okay, now is this going to act like the first time? Oh no, all the balloons are up, that's crazy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
This
Perhaps he
game
had
is
simply missed a
done
memo.
so well.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him,
Wait.
begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I wasn't even paying attention to what he said. I like my bucket being back.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No, it's my
I
bucket.
can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's
No.
supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Nope.
I know how hard it must... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I've yet to go downstairs, I don't think yet. Ooh, it's awfully red down here. Hey, look.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I'm savoring. I enjoyed it. It was good. What's in here?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
There's
All
no one
because
here.
he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
That's strange, Stanley thought.
Just walking
Usually
in
the bucket
circles
is a
again.
source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times.
I
such
need
as
my
these.
skip button back.
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
I noticed that
Now
before.
he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh,
Whoa.
gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he
Oh,
heard
no.
calling to him. Stanley! Stanley!
We're going
it's
crazy.
Me, the bucket! Could it truly
I
be?
found it.
He
Give me
rushed
a-
forward from room to
give me my
room,
bucket.
passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly,
Oh, no.
he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What?
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Oh, okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
What?
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
Yeah, I want my
Perhaps he
bucket
didn't
back.
even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place.
Oh,
How
no.
cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything.
It's the most
Heck, she
ridiculous
thought to
thing.
herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
All the way to work. Here we go again.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Definitely.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was
Yep.
this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Just curious what happens if I stay here for a couple.
Perhaps this
A little
was
bit
where
longer.
the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the
patience.
bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Okay, maybe there's no more. I'll keep
But
moving.
finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business. And so
Still
the two
have
of them
yet to go
detoured
past
through
this
the
thing, I
maintenance
think.
section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Mission status. Whoa. This feels more like a crime scene investigation at this point. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they pointless, to be honest. Oh my god. Alright.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
I can't have the bucket.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What happens when I'm in here with the bucket? Oh, I can open the... Hey.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
Stanlerines.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Sure. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the bosses suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Okay. Interesting. Anything different happen now that I have the bucket? Probably not. No, it doesn't do anything different. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Is it 2, 4,
Crushed by the
8,
weight of this
5?
revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if
I don't
not for
remember
the
what it was.
soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It
Not
would
really.
be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it.
And he
The
knew.
two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Oh, I had it backwards.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, hey, another one.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think,
Figlies?
Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Yeah, Figlies is not good. Stanlerines is better than Figlies.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
Wait,
It
what?
would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I do feel good having my bucket with me. It does definitely make me more comfortable.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Am I just here again, but now with the bucket? Does anything different
The
happen?
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
The bucket's gonna cry now? What does that mean?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
I've already
Controls
been
labeled
here.
with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Well, I guess what happens when you hit on. So I
When at
turned it
last
off
they
last
came to
time.
the... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Uh-oh.
Birds. Silly, silly birds.
Silly
The control
birds.
buttons became active again.
What?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
What?
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken,
Penguins.
this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Alright guys, well I think that's where I'm going to call it for today. I've been playing for a couple hours, so I'm sure there's more to it that I have not uncovered, and I'd be happy to go back through and play it again, or try and find some other ones if you guys are interested. Go ahead and hit like and leave a comment for me, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Alright, so I really appreciate everyone checking out the video with me today. Feel free to check out the suggested video that's on your screen now, and I'll see you in the next one.